in the monthly of the Sri Chaitanya Siddhanta. This is a beautiful composition that comes from his heart after Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu transformed. So if the screen is not visible, the devotee is going to display. But if it's not visible for you, please go to Google and type in Nava Gaura Param. Nava Gaura Param. Nava Pushpa. Nava Nava Gaura Param. Nava Pushpa. Nava everyone. Last year, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for being here at the holy lotus feet of Shri Shri Radha Govinda, Shri Shri Radha Neelamani. How many of us are coming here for the very first time? One, two. Okay. So I presume the others have been here at least once. We see on Thursday, which is 2 days prior, we celebrated the appearance day of Sri Nrsimhadev. And we all would have heard about Nrsimhadev. And if not, we would have definitely seen the movie Mahavatar Nrsimha. Right? So the movie definitely made the appearance of Nrsimhadev very, very popular, and not just in India, but in practically every nook and corner around the world. And it is good for the fact that there are devotees, there are people who are using their expertise in spreading um, the appearance of the Lord in ways that are attractive even to the youth. Right? Otherwise, if it's a Bhagavatam class, most often adults are in there, children are somewhere else. But it is a very creative way to even keep the children hooked on, because movies are such that even small children get hooked on to it. And it's a very beautiful way of connecting with our Sanatan Dharma. And as we all would be knowing that it is just the Mahavatar Narasimha is just the start of many other films that they plan to do. And correct me if I'm wrong, the next is, I think, Parshuram. So it's wonderful that these divine incarnations of the Supreme Lord have been presented in ways that are very easy to understand. But the origin of these incarnations is coming from a book called as the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Bhagavad Gita is nothing but words spoken by Bhagavan, and the Bhagavatam is nothing but words about Bhagavan. That's the difference. One is spoken by Bhagavan, one is about Bhagavan. What does this word Bhagavan mean? Oftentimes we write in Hindi, we say Bhagavan. Like, for example, if someone is strong, what do we say? Balavan, correct. If someone is very intelligent, Buddhiman, correct. If someone is very scholarly, Vidwan. Now, very easy. If someone is having a lot of money, oh, the first three questions, very few answered. When it came to money, everyone unanimously, without options. So, what is the commonality here? All, ha, one, all these words end with one. What does one mean? One means to possess. When you possess something, it's called as one. So, if someone is having a lot of money, धनवान. जिनके पास बहुत ज़्यादा धन है, धनवान. If someone is very intelligent, बुद्धिमान or vidwan. Someone who's having wits, knowledge, intelligence is vidwan. Similarly, here we have a terminology called as bhagavan, which means one means to possess. Bhaga means opulence. Aishwarya, bhaga, opulence. Aishwarya se samagrasya vidya se yashura striya jnana vairagyam. These are six qualities of Bhagavan. If someone calls or proclaims himself to be Bhagavan, the litmus test to figure out whether the person is Bhagavan is he or she should be having these six qualities in full. Not one, not two, but these six qualities. He should be the most intelligent. He should be the most wealthy. He should be the most powerful strength. He should be the most handsome. And handsome not with fair and lovely. Without that, without the makeup, without the, in maybe here also in Sanamesh, you have that ultra printing, right? And so many of Matajis and all go there. So without the makeups. The moment I said that, all of them started looking at me. So the point is, there are six qualities. Aishwarya, Samagrasa, Virya, Yashaha. Someone is famous, knowledgeable, intelligent, handsome, strong, famous, renounced. Now, in this world, we see there are personalities who have these qualities. We are not denying that. There may be someone who's very, very rich, right? There may be someone who's very intelligent. There may be someone who's very strong. There may be someone who's renounced. There may be someone who's Miss India, Miss Universe, whatever. There are people who have these qualities. But Shastra explains that personality who has all these six qualities in one person. That person is Bhagavan. Now, you please give me an example of someone who has all these six in one person. Anyone from this book who is rich, at the same time strong, at the same time renounced, at the same time handsome? You will find someone. Ha, that is Bhagavan, correct. Bache man ke sache. Children sometimes give the right answer. In this world, you see, you have personalities who have all these, but you don't find one person having all of them, right? You may have whoever, the richest people, but are they handsome? Not necessarily. Are they the most famous? Not necessarily. Are they the strongest? Maybe, maybe not. Are they the most pronounced? Definitely not. Definitely not. That personality was all of them in full. उनसे बढ़कर और कोई नहीं है. यदि पैसे के बारे में चर्चा करें तो ये ऐसे व्यक्ति है कि इनसे बढ़कर और कोई नहीं. All of us strive for luxury, right? The reason everyone goes to a 9 to 5 job is so that they can get Lakshmi. But most often, people want Lakshmi without Narayan. Right? Most often, this one, people want Lakshmi, they don't want Narayan. That is precisely what Ravana wanted. Ravan wanted Sita, he didn't want Ram. So just wanting Lakshmi, not wanting Narayan is a very demoniac mentality. Just wanting the, like for example, in this world, if I ask you a question, if there is someone who just wants the wife, doesn't want the husband, what will you call that person? Not very noble, right? Huh? Lusty. Lusty, okay, yes. Not a very noble person. If someone just wants the wife of the other person, but doesn't want the husband, it's not a very ideal person. And that's what Ravana did. He wanted Sita Devi, didn't want Sri Ramachandra, and the result was, long story short, he had to die in the hands of Sri Ram. So the teaching is Ravana may have died, Kamsa may have died, Shishupal, Dantavakra, Jarasan, Kalayavan, they all have died, but these demoniac tendencies are still there in the heart of everyone. In the sense, we may not, quote unquote, we may not want the wife of the other person, but all of us just want Lakshmi and don't want Narayan. How many come to a temple and worship Narayan religiously? Very few. But how many go to a 9 to 5 job to make money? Everyone. It is the same understanding. So the point of a temple is so that we are not just limited to Lakshmi, we are uniting Lakshmi and Narayan. We are worshipping Narayan and Lakshmi both together. Lakshmi Devi is incomplete without Narayan, and Narayan is incomplete without Lakshmi Ji. So we see that this scripture, called as the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is that scripture that primarily talks about the Supreme Lord Bhagavan, who has all these qualities. Narayan is that personality, he's the most famous, he's the strongest. And in the sense, when children, when they're 6 days old, they don't even know where what is left, what is right. They know nothing about this world. Krishna, when he was just 6 days young, because Krishna doesn't get old, when Krishna was in 6 days, Putana comes to Vrindavan. The name Putana, na, Hindi में ना बोलते हैं ना का क्या अर्थ है? No, correct. Putana, Puta means purity. Putana, someone who has no purity. Now my अर्थ है. Someone who has no purity, Putana. Putana, when she came to Vrindavan, Krishna was only 6 days. And Krishna practically kills her. Bhagavatam explains Putana was not a small demon like we have Barbie dolls. Putana was not the size of a Barbie doll. You know how long Putana was? What was her width? Any guesses? 6 miles. 13 miles. 13 miles, 6 miles. Anyone else? Just give it a shot. Huh? 100 miles, okay. Someone else? 10 miles, okay. Yes. Million? नहीं कितना नहीं था. Bhagavatam explains she was 12 miles long. 12 miles. So if you're from Samamish, from our BCC, if you do 12 miles, how much would that be? Bottle? Kirkland. So Samamish to Kirkland is about 12 miles. That was the size of Putana. And how old was Krishna? 6 days. एक है इतने लंबे, एक है इतने छोटे. छोटे बड़े पर भारी पड़ गए. Krishna was in 6 days and sucks the life air out of Putana. That is Bhagavan. He doesn't wait to go to an LA fitness to get strength. He's naturally strong. He doesn't have to do biceps and triceps and shoulders and then get muscles and then he becomes strong. No. Krishna doesn't take any whey protein, muscle mass, nothing, protein X, nothing. He is naturally strong. He was, is, and will be strong. He is naturally famous. He is naturally intelligent. When Arjuna had confusion, Krishna didn't think, oh, wait, let me just refer to one of the Shastras. I will come back tomorrow. अरे मैंने PPT बनाया नहीं. Let me make presentation. Arjuna, tomorrow I will come to the battlefield and explain to you. He didn't do that. When Arjuna had a confusion, Krishna straight away started. And interestingly, it was a battlefield. Right? It's not a temple hall that Krishna has nice microphone, nice laptop, devotees are sitting. It was a battlefield. Now you can imagine how chaotic a battlefield will be. There are weapons, there is bloodshed, there are horses, There's chariots, there are elephants, there are soldiers. And here, after so much, the Mahabharata has unfolded so much. It is unfolded so much. And at this point, Arjuna is saying, my dear Krishna, I don't want to fight. Ideally, Arjuna's blood should be boiling. But then Arjuna says, on the other side, they're my family members. You have Bhishma, you have my Guru, Drona. Kauravas are my brothers. How can I kill them? And now look at Krishna's predicament. Krishna is ready with the chariot. Krishna has done all the groundwork. The battlefield was decided. Everything was decided. Now the key member who's responsible to kill the Kauravas is saying, I don't want to fight. हमें युद्ध नहीं करना. क्यों? क्योंकि वहां हमारे परिवार जन है, हमें युद्ध नहीं करना. I don't want bloodshed. At a time when there was so much distress, Krishna didn't say, Arjuna, let's do one thing. I'll just go back home. I'll brush the basics and then I'll come back tomorrow to clear your doubts. Krishna didn't say that. At that spur of the moment, Krishna straight away starts the Bhagavad Gita. Again, as we said, Bhagavan, Bhagavat. Gita means the song of Bhagavan, the song of God. And how much time did Krishna take for the Bhagavad Gita to end? How much time did Krishna speak the Bhagavad Gita for? In our Senanish temple on December 25th, approx that time when we have the Gita Jayanti, we do the whole recitation of the Bhagavad Gita. And approximately it takes hours and hours to finish. And not just one devotee, there are multiple devotees who come in rotation. And then the Bhagavad Gita ends. And here was Krishna who spoke the whole of Bhagavad Gita in a span of 48 minutes. 48 मिनट में भगवान पूरा गीता सुना दिया. And there is not even one reference where Krishna falters. Not even one reference where Krishna's pronunciation is wrong. Not even one reference where Krishna makes up an answer to convince Arjuna. Krishna gives crystal clear, precise answer in a span of 48 minutes to show to the world that he doesn't require external books and external videos to stimulate his intelligence. He is naturally Vidwan. He is naturally knowledgeable. So that personality who has all these 6 qualities is called Bhagavan. And there is only one person, that is Krishna. We see this book called the Srimad Bhagavatam. It primarily talks about Supreme Lord Krishna. Speaks about some other incarnations also, but the key focus, the key theme is Krishna. This book is called as Sri Mad Bhagavatam. Bhagavat means Bhagavan, Krishna. Shri means beauty. Mother means intoxication. That book that intoxicates the readers with the beauty of Krishna is Sri Mad Bhagavatam. Shri means beauty, Mother means to intoxicate, and Bhagavat is Bhagavan. That book that intoxicates the readers with the beauty and the sweetness of Krishna or Bhagavan is Srimad Bhagavatam. This Bhagavatam we see has 12 cantos primarily. And in the 7th canto, we find the pastime of Prahlad and Narsimha. Whenever we speak about the Supreme Lord, we also speak about his devotees. When we speak about Sri Ram, we speak about Hanumanji. Right? When we speak about Krishna, we speak about Brajavasis. We speak about Pandavas. We speak about Arjun, etc. Similarly, whenever we speak about Narsinga, we speak about his devotee Prahlad. And the 7th canto of the Bhagavatam is that canto where extensively the pastimes of Prahlad and Narsinga have been explained. The Shastras explain Vaishnava Mukhodgirnam Putam Harikathamritam. That Shastra should be heard from someone who's a Vaishnava. Vaishnava Mukhodgirnam. If someone hears Shastra from someone who's not a Vaishnava, Putam Harikathamritam. It is like milk that is touched by a serpent. If there is milk and a serpent touches it, will we honor that milk? Will we have that milk? No. It is the same milk. But because now it is touched by a serpent, it becomes poisonous, not worthy to be consumed. Similarly, Bhagavatam is all pure, like the milk. But when it is presented by those who have ulterior agenda, ulterior motives, then that hearing should not be done. O Vaishnava Mukhotkirnam Bhutam Harikathamritam. The message of the Supreme Lord becomes purified and profoundly effective when they emanate from the lotus mouth of a pure Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada was one time in Jhansi, right? Because that's where Srila Prabhupada was there before his sannyas. Prabhupada was there in Jhansi. This was the time of his Grahastha days. And Prabhupada had written a book. And Prabhupada was going door to door distribute to his friends. So he came to one of his friends and he gave the book. So that friend took it. And the friend asked Srila Prabhupada, what will I get by studying this book? So Srila Prabhupada said, oh, by studying this book, you will go back to Godhead. आपको भगवत प्राप्ति हो जाएगी आप भगवान के पास चले जाएंगे. So that friend looked at Srila Prabhupada and said, after going back to Godhead, can I come back to Jhansi? Prabhupada said no. Then he gave the book back and said, Swamiji, I don't want it, you only keep. These are the kind of people that Srila Prabhupada was dealing with. So in one class, His Holiness Keshav Maharaj was saying, those who come to Krishna or those who come to Krishna consciousness are very fortunate. Those who do not come to Krishna, Krishna consciousness, are not very fortunate. But those who come to Krishna or Krishna consciousness and don't take advantage of it are very unfortunate. भगवान के चरण सबको प्राप्त नहीं होते. And God, Krishna is such. If someone is not a devotee, in the presence of God, we will not be able to realize that person is God. What is the example? Duryodhana. Was it Duryodhana also there with Krishna? Yes. It was the same Krishna who was there with Arjuna, who was also there with Duryodhana. But what is the difference? Arjuna wanted to be at the feet of Krishna. Duryodhana wanted to sit on his head. God reveals himself to those who want to know God as it is, without any ulterior agenda. Wasn't Kamsa also seeing the same Krishna, like that of the Brajvasis? Same Krishna. But what did Krishna do? He didn't want Krishna. He wanted to kill Krishna. So the point is, the purpose of a temple, the purpose of Krishna consciousness is to go from a demoniac mentality to that of divine mentality where we don't want to sit on the head of Krishna. We don't want to sit at the head of Bhagavan. We want to sit at his lotus feet like Arjun. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling from one place to another, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to one place, and at that time there was one Brahmana who was reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. And this Brahmana, looking at Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, stopped reading Bhagavatam because the essence of Bhagavatam is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that when that Supreme Lord has come in front of him, why will he read the Srimad Bhagavatam? So he closed the book. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, now continue reading Bhagavatam. So this Brahmana again picked up. And he again read for another 2 hours. And then he stopped. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, continue. This Brahmana said, okay. And he again continued. And he read another 2 hours. And it was already 4 hours by now. This Brahmana stopped. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, continue. So he again continued. He read another 2 hours. It was 6 hours. Mahaprabhu was still hearing. He stopped after 6 hours. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, continue. So this Brahmana again continued. He read another 2 hours. It was 8 hours. He stopped. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, continue. Now the Brahmana said, my dear Lord, my jaws are paining. Please allow me to stop. You have so much thirst that you can hear all day, but I don't have so much thirst to speak. Bhagavan, maaf karo. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, okay. After 8 hours of hearing, the speaker got tired, the listener was going on and on. 8 hours. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so happy with his Brahmana that he was speaking Bhagavat, he was speaking Bhagavatam, that Mahaprabhu blessed him and initiated him and gave him the name Bhagavat Acharya. Why? Because he loved Bhagavatam so much. So if someone claims that they're a Vaishnava, the litmus test for being a Vaishnava is Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam. How much dear Bhagavatam is there to our heart? To the extent we call ourselves a Vaishnava, to that extent Bhagavatam should be very dear to our heart. One time Srila Prabhupada in 1975 was entering a temple. It was Krishna Balram Mandir, Vrindavan. Prabhupada was entering a temple, and night 2:30, there was a bulb that was glowing in the Brahmachari ashram. So Prabhupada entered, he looked, and night 2:30 means that's the time when we become Muchukund Maharaj. Night 2:30, we are sleeping. Muchukund Maharaj in Mahabharat was known for sleeping. He got a blessing from the demigods. He helped the demigods win over the demons. The demigods blessed him. And what was the blessing he asked for? Sleep. सोना है, आराम से सोना है, और ऐसा सोना है कि कोई जगाए ना. No one should wake me up. If someone wakes me up, that person who wakes me up should be burned to ashes with my vision. The demigod said, Tatastu. The personality who waked him up was Kala Yavan. And Munchipur Maharaj with his vision burned Kala Yavan to death. So we see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has so much taste, so much attraction to hear Shastra. For 8 hours, he goes constantly without sleeping. In this Bhagavatam, as we see, especially in the seventh canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are two personalities that are exemplified. One is Hiranyakashipu. Please repeat. Second is Prahlad. Srila Sridhar Swami, who's the original commentator to the Srimad Bhagavatam, he says the seventh canto of the Bhagavatam has a theme called as Shubh Ichha and Ashubh Ichha. What does Ichha mean? Desire. Shubh Ichha means good desire. Ashubh Ichha means bad desire. Now you please tell me who showed Shubh Ichha? Prahlad Maharaj. And who showed Ashubh Ichha? Sridhar Swami says this is the seed of the seventh canto. Two personalities, Ashubh Ichha, Shubh Ichha, Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad. What does Hiranyakashipu mean? Hiranya means gold. Kashipu means bed. He who liked gold and bed. Bed means to sleep. Or the another interpretation could be lust. He who was lusty or who loved to sleep and loved gold very much is Hiranyakashipu. So in this world, don't we see people who love gold and who love to sleep? Almost everyone. The name Hiranyakashipu means this. Right? All these names that are there in scripture, sabka arth hai. All these personalities have a particular meaning. So Hiranyakashipu, Hiranya means gold, Kashipu means bed. And then you have Prahlad, Prakrishna Rupena Lada. That personality who was always happy, blissful. Prahlad. Lada means happy. Prahlad, pra is a suffix. Like, for example, uh, Sada means food. Prasada, divine food. The word pra is a prefix. Hasa, suhasa. Hmm? So in Sanskrit, we have prefix. Similarly, Lada, happy. Prahlada, oh, that person was always very, very happy. Nothing could disturb. Like you have calm water, you throw a stone, the water gets agitated. But then again, it becomes calm. You learn such understanding. Even when stones of calamities were thrown at him by Hiranyakashipu, he was still very calm. The Bhagavatam explains there are 12 Mahajans, 12 great personalities. Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Mara, Kapila, Manu, Prahlada, Janaka, Bhishma, Bali, Vayasaki, Vayam. Who is saying this? This words was spoken by Yamaraj himself. And Yamaraj says these are the 12 Mahajans. And Prahlad is one of them. It's interesting that in this 12 Mahajans, Prahlad's number comes at number 7. In Canto also his number comes at Canto 7. There is no reasoning to it. It's just a transcendental coincidence that in Mahajan and Bhagavatam everywhere, it's number 7 that's associated with Prahlad. And of the 12 Mahajans, we see 11 Mahajans are such that people are very happy to meet. Except one Mahajan, whom people are very afraid to meet. वो एक महाजन है, उनका नाम सुनते ही No one wants to meet him. People start crying. All 11 Mahajans we want to meet. यमराज का दर्शन नहीं होना चाहिए. अगर उनके दर्शन हो गए तो फिर आपका हाँ game over. हरी बोल. if you see Yamaraj face to face, that's game over. One time, Yamaraj was going to Yamaraj was going to see Jagannath in Jagannath Puri. We have Jagannath Puri. So Yamaraj one time was going to take darshan of Jagannath because he is Mahajan and he worships Bhagavan also. So he was going to Jagannath Puri. And as he was going to Jagannath Puri to take darshan of Jagannath, on the branch of a tree there was a sparrow sitting. And Yamaraj started looking at the sparrow. Now, if Yamaraj is looking at you for a very long time, it's not a very happy sign. It's time up for you. He was looking at this sparrow for a very long time and then he went inside. From a distance, Garuda was seeing all this. And Garuda thought, why is Yamaraj seeing the sparrow? Maybe it's time up for the sparrow. So Garuda flew there, picked up the sparrow, and flew all the way to Mansarovar. And at Mansarovar, there was a tree, and in that tree, there was a nest. And Garuda placed the sparrow on the nest. Yamaraj came outside after darshan, and he was again looking out. This time, he didn't see the sparrow. Garuda came there and said, are you looking for something? Have you lost something? Are you looking? Yamaraj said, yes, I was. I looked at the sparrow. According to my calculation, this sparrow at this time should have been at Mansarovar because his death was written there. I don't know how the sparrow was here. As they were speaking, there was a snake that was there in that tree that killed that sparrow. Garuda thought to himself, my goodness, this sparrow was safe here. I took the sparrow from here and took it there only so that it can be killed. So if Yamaraj is looking at you for a very long time, it's not a very happy sign. He is one Mahajan you don't want to see. But unfortunately, you have to. So Prahlad is one of those Mahajans that is explaining it. What's the difference between Mahajan and, let's say, a devotee? Are the devotees? Mahajans are, of course, devotees. So a devotee is a subset of a Mahajan. All Mahajans are devotees. All devotees are not Mahajans. A Mahajan is someone, these 12 personalities are such, they're empowered by the Supreme Lord to the extent where the Lord comes down to reciprocate with them. So much so that the Lord takes incarnations to protect their Krishna consciousness. There are devotees of this, but Supreme Lord doesn't come out of a pillar for everyone. He doesn't become Vaman for everyone. He doesn't become Matsya for everyone. The Supreme Lord likes Narad Muni so much that Narad Muni is going from place to place to place, chanting his holy name. In this world, outside this world, he's always chanting. Then is Brahmaji. The Supreme Lord inspired Brahmaji to create. Not all devotees can create. We can create this maybe. That also all cannot create. We can create maybe a laptop. Brahmaji creates the whole universe. These are personalities who are very, very dear to the Lord, empowered by the Lord to carry out activities that can reinstate Dharma and then get the Lord done with the support. So all Mahajans are absolutely devotees. There is some difference because big devotees like Brajvasis or Hanumanji, right? They are not part of this. They are also Mahajans, but in the Bhagavad Bhagavatam, Sanatana Goswami says that there is a gradation of devotees who are presented. For example, the first part of Bhagavad Bhagavatam talks about how different devotees are there, right from devotees of this world up to Indra, Chandra, Agni, Vayu, Varuna, up to the Brajvasis, up to Uddhav. So he starts by saying that you have devotees of this world, but greater than devotees of this world is Indra. Greater than Indra is Brahmaji. Greater than Brahma is Lord Shiva. Greater than Lord Shiva is Prahlad. Greater than Prahlad is Hanumanji. Greater than Hanumanji is the Pandavas. Greater than the Pandavas are the Yadus. Greater than the Yadus are is Uddhav. Greater than Uddhav is the Gopis of Vrindavan. Greater than the Gopis of Vrindavan, Srimati Radharani. So there a detailed hierarchy is given of who is who. If you compare the Brajvasis to the Mahajans, the Brajvasis are any day high, are any day. But the greatness of Brajvasis, they don't consider themselves a devotee. That's a paradox. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says there is one similarity between the atheist and the Brajvasis. Atheist, जो नास्तिक है, और जो ब्रजवासी है, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says there is one similarity between both of them. What is the similarity? Both don't consider Krishna as God. The atheists don't consider Krishna as God, and the Brajavasis, out of too much love, they also don't consider Krishna as God. But the difference is these 12 Mahajans consider Krishna as God. The Brajavasis are so much in love that they don't consider Krishna as God and they don't care whether Krishna is God. So, to the extent you believe Krishna is God, you fit into this bracket of Mahajan. When you break open that shell where you no longer take protection from Krishna, but you give protection to Krishna, then a new world opens up, like Uddhav, like Brajavasis, etc. In one way, the Brajavasis are also Mahajans, but they are more than Mahajans. So we see it here. Hiranyakashipu was there, did tapasya for 10,000 years, 10,000 saal. He did tapasya, and his tapasya was such, it was not sitting at one place. 10,000 years of standing, not on two legs, but on one leg. On one leg, not all fingers. On the tip of the toe of one leg, he was standing with hands raised up, with practically not eating anything, not drinking anything. For 10,000 years, he was ready to do tapasya. Why? Not to please Bhagavan. भगवान को प्राप्त करने के लिए नहीं, so that he can please Brahma, so that he can get boons, so that with those boons he can kill Vishnu. He did 10,000 years of tapasya. And on the flip side, you have Prahlad. Prahlad got much more than Hiranyakashipu in just 5 years. In just 5 years. And how did he get that? Because his mother was Kayadu. Prahlad's mother is Kayadu. And when Prahlad was there in the womb, when Kayadu was pregnant, she would hear Bhagavatam from Narada Muni. Narada Muni would speak, Kayadu would hear. And externally, there were two people hearing Bhagavatam. But realistically, there were three people hearing Bhagavatam. Prahlad in the womb was hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And after hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, when he came out, he was not a normal child. He came out as Prahlad. So we see there's a complete contrast of Hiranyakashipu who did tapasya for 10,000 years, still was defeated by the Lord. And on the flip side, you have Prahlad, who practically just heard about Krishna. And in 5 years, he was ready or was able to invoke the Supreme Lord down to this world. And that too through a pillar. The seventh canto of the Bhagavatam, we see, it starts with this story as to how the Pandavas, they get the Indraprasth. Indraprasth is the modern day Delhi. I was reading an article where there are discussions going on as to whether it is time to change the name of Delhi to Indraprasth. There was an article and said the government is planning whether it is time to change, because you see, the yogi government in many places have also changed into Prayagraj. So it will be nice if from tomorrow New Delhi becomes Indraprasth. Where are you going, Indraprasth? It gives a different vibe. New Delhi, ठीक है, इधर Indraprasth, Hastinapur. So the seventh end of the Bhagavatam starts with this theme as to how during the Indraprasth, Rajasuya Yajna, Shishupal dies. Shishupal learned to say mommy daddy later. He first learned to criticize Krishna. The moment he could see Krishna, he would criticize like anything. And he would feed on it. He would love to criticize Krishna. Krishna has a name called as Adosha. What is the name? Adosha. Which means he doesn't have any fault. And at the same time, Krishna also has a name called as Adosha Darshi, which means he doesn't see the fault of others. But that Krishna, who doesn't have any fault, Shishupal was ready to see faults in that faultless Krishna. जिनमें कोई दोष नहीं है, शिशुपाल इतने दुर्त है that he was ready to find faults even at Krishna. And then we see It goes back and forth. Shishupal is criticizing. Krishna gets angry. Krishna removes the Sudarshan Chakra. And at that time, when Rajasuri Yajna is going on, Krishna, without anesthesia, does a laser surgery. Straight away chops his head. First ever laser surgery. And interestingly, not a drop of blood went down to the ground. ऐसा चमत्कार तो आज तक नहीं निकला. Where the person's head is chopped off, blood doesn't fall to the ground. So when that happens, Yudhishthir Maharaj has a question that how is it Shishupal, after criticizing and rebuking Krishna, how does he get Sayujya Mukti, one form of liberation, one form of Mukti? And at that time, Narad Muni says, please repeat, Kamat, Snehat, Bhayat, Dveshat, Yata Muktishwari Manaha. Narad Muni says, in reply to this question of Yudhishthira Maharaj, he says, there are 4 kinds of people, Kama, that is with loving desire, and that is the gopis of Vrindavan. Second is Snehat, motherly affection, Mother Yashoda. Bhaya, fear, Kamsa. And fourth, Dvesha, enviousness, Shishupal. What is the commonality? All 4 of them were constantly remembering Krishna. The first 2, the gopis and Mother Yashoda, were remembering Krishna for the good, in the good sense. But the last 2, Kamsa and Shishupal, were also remembering Krishna, but in the wrong sense. But what is the essence? All 4 were Krishna conscious. मंदिर क्यों आते थे कि भगवान का स्मरण कर रहे हैं, वो भी तो कृष्णा कॉन्शियस है, वो भी तो भगवान का स्मरण कर रहे थे. Kamsa was so Krishna conscious that he wouldn't get sleep out of so much fear that today Krishna will come and kill me. Oh, Krishna is here. Oh, Krishna is there. Oh, Krishna will come. He was so afraid of Krishna. And Shishupal was envious of Krishna. Krishna this, Krishna that, Krishna this, Krishna that. But they were also Krishna conscious. And Krishna is very kind. He sees the good. Doshadarshi. भगवान किसी में दोष नहीं देखते. भगवान इतने करुणामय है कि इनमें भी दोष नहीं देखते. इनको भी मुक्त करा दिए. So that time Narad Muni says, if by being envious of Krishna, if by being afraid of Krishna you can get liberated, how much more benefit you and I will get if we remember Krishna like Mother Yashoda. If we remember Krishna like the gopis of Vrindavan. यदि भगवान से भयभीत होकर उनको भगवान प्राप्त होते हैं, द्वेष रखकर भगवान को प्राप्त कर लेते हैं, तो भगवान से प्रेम कर क्या हम भगवान को प्राप्त नहीं करेंगे? Of course we will get. So the reason why we come to a temple, the reason why we here is so that we can transcend the demoniac Kamsa mentality. We can transcend the Shishupal mentality and go to the mentality of Mother Yashoda, to love Krishna unconditionally. One devotee was telling me in our congregation itself, very funny when I first time heard it. He was saying that when he came to the temple for the very first time, back in the days in 2015, 16, etc., our BCC, Samamish Temple, we would have some dramas. For different festivals, we would have different dramas. And he was a newcomer. So when he came to the temple the initial times, the devotees gave him roles like Ramachandra, Lakshman, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, etc. One drama, he got the role of Nrsimhadev. He became very happy. Then he got initiated. Now, after he became a devotee, he started getting roles like Jarasan, Kalayavan, Shishupal, Dantabakra. He said, my goodness, Prabhuji, hum Diksha ka pehle theek the. He said, before Diksha, I was getting good role. After I got Diksha, after I became a devotee, devotees realized, now he's set. Now let's give chance to someone else. I became the demon, some other person became a divine personality. That was Gauranga when he said first, I started laughing. He said, Prabhuji, when I came first time, they gave me Ramachandra, Nrsimhadev, this, that. After that was Jarasan, Kala, Yavan, Shishupal, all these personalities. So we see here, the 7th canto starts with this theme that however you remember the Supreme Lord, you will get him. But our aim is not to remember the Lord out of fear. Bhagavan said, Darna nahi, Bhagavan said, prem karna hai. Our aim is to be God loving, not God fearing. So in the next 15 minutes, we will see 5 teachings of Prahlad Maharaj. The first teaching that Prahlad Maharaj gives is the importance of the holy name. What is the holy name? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. There are personalities who teach the world after they appear, and then there are personalities who teach the world even before they appear. Prahlad Maharaj is one such personality. When Hiranyakashipu went to the forest, to the mountains, to do tapasya, he started doing tapasya in the intensity that the demigods were afraid. He was shaking the universe. Brahmaji, who was the creator of the universe, was afraid that if this person does tapasya with such intensity, there's going to be havoc. When Hiranyakashipu was doing tapasya, his head was emitting fire. He was that intense. He wanted those boons to kill Vishnu. Why so much enmity to Vishnu? Because his brother Hiranyaksha was killed by Varahadev. तो बदला लेना है. अब बदला लेने के लिए ऐसे boon चाहिए that no one has ever got. And he asked different boons, right? As we know, not to be killed in land, not to be killed in water, not to be killed in weapons, not to be killed by a human, not to be killed by an animal, not to be killed in the sky, in water, in land, different boons that he asked. And he thought he was all sorted. In fact, the Nashika Puran says, Hiranyakashipu even asked one more boon, and that was, I should not be killed in any of the 12 months. 12 महीने में एक भी महीने में हमारा वध नहीं होना चाहिए. I should not be killed in any of the 12 months. Now he thought, if 12, only 12 months are there, if in the 12 months if I am not killed, how can anyone kill me? 12 महीने ही तो है. But भगवान भी चतुर है. हम पूरा दुनिया को टोपी लगा सकते हैं, भगवान को टोपी नहीं लगा सकते. When Hiranyakashipu asked, Narshika Puran says, when Hiranyakashipu asked that I don't want to be killed in 12 months, the Supreme Lord said, "Okay, I will not kill you in 12 months. I will create a 13th month called as Adhik Mas, Purushottam Mas, and then I will come and kill you." The Narshika Puran says in one of the kalpas, the 13th month was created by Narshika Dev only so that he can kill Hiranyakashipu who had asked the boon of not being killed in the 12 months. Now there may be a question that, Prabhuji, if Nrsimhadev killed Hiranyakashipu in the Purushottam Mas, why do we celebrate Nrsimha Chaturdashi every May? It should be only once in 2.5 years. Natural question. The understanding is in one of the kalpas, this happened. The Supreme Lord performs pastimes in different kalpas in different ways. In one of the kalpas, Hiranyakashipu had asked the bull that I should not be killed in the 12 months, according to Nrsimha. And then the 13th month was created only so that he can be killed. So Adhik Mas, which is approaching in another 15 days from now, another 2 weeks from now, also happens to be the time when Rashikadev in one of the kalpas killed Hiranyakashipu. So now back to our story. When Hiranyakashipu was doing this tapasya, Brahmaji was shaking. He didn't know what to do. He is the creator, but he didn't know what to do. Narad Muni came there. And when Narad Muni came, he looked at the predicament of Brahmaji and said, "My dear Brahma, don't worry. I will do something to stop his tapasya." Narad Muni, along with his friend Parvata Muni, both of them take the form of sparrows. And as sparrows, they go near Hiranyakashipu where he's doing tapasya and sit on a branch. And in the form of sparrows sitting on a branch near Hiranyakashipu who's doing tapasya, fully absorbed, fully intense, these two sparrows go and say, Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Now, who is Narayan? Narayan is quote unquote the enemy of Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu is doing tapasya so that he can get the power to kill Narayan. And these two sparrows out of nowhere come there and start chanting the name of his enemy. Om Namo Narayana. Now Hiranyakashipu was furious. He was fuming. He was doing tapasya to kill Vishnu, and two birds out of nowhere were saying Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. He got so angry. He stopped his tapasya, picked up his bow to kill these sparrows, but lo and behold, these sparrows were Narad Muni and Parvata Muni. They just flew away. But what happened? The tapasya stopped. That is what Narad Muni wanted. Tapasya bhang ho gaya. Narad Muni ko wahi chahiye tha. When Hiranyakashipu's tapasya got stopped, he became so agitated. He came back to his wife Tayadu. And his wife said, "Hey, wait a minute. You went for tapasya, you came back so fast. And during those days, tapasya was such that when they would go, they would do it for thousands of years. They would not just come back. It's not like a Saturday program where we come at 6 o'clock, go back at 8:30. Not 2 hours. They would do it for thousands of years. So Kayadu, when she saw it, she said, why did he come back? And Hiranyakashipu narrates the whole story. And now he's so agitated. That's the time he does the Garbhadana install. That's the time Kayadu gets pregnant. Now, interestingly, when Kayadu got pregnant, when the Garbhadana sanskar was being done, at that time, Hiranyakashipu's mind was again and again internally chanting Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana. Not that he wanted, like Shishupal. Not that Shishupal wanted, like Kamsa. Not that Kamsa wanted. But Hiranyakashipu was so angry at these two birds who broke his tapasya that during the Garbhadana samskar, his mind was thinking Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana. Result Prahlad. Prahlad became Prahlad even before his appearance by the power of Krishna's holy name. By the power of Krishna's holy name. He did what he did after he came out. But even before he came out, he showed the world of the power of the holy name. In India, very funny. In India, this one time there was this one boy who came in touch with ISKCON. And after he came in touch with ISKCON, he started chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And after he started chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, sporadically he would get realizations in his heart. And one such realization that he got is he had stocks. He had stocks. He had stocks. And those stocks were worth $2 million. He got a realization after chanting Hare Krishna, I want to sell stocks. He went to his father and said, my dear father, I want to sell stocks. His father said, are you crazy? The stock market is going picture perfect. Why do you want to sell? This son said, no, no, I started chanting Hare Krishna. I got a realization, sell stocks, I will sell stocks. He went to the bank, sold the stocks worth $2 million. In 1 week, the Lehman Brothers collapsed, 2007. The stock market completely crashed. His $2 million got saved. His father came to him and his father said, whatever you're chanting, make sure it never stops. Mala rukni nahi chahiye. Whatever you do, it should never stop. That bank manager called and said, what was that mantra you were chanting? And he gave that mantra. Now that bank manager is a disciple of Jayapataka Maharaj. The holy name is very powerful. When His Holiness Kadamkanana Swami Maharaj, one sannyasi in his stone, when he was departing this world, his Guru Srila Jayadvaita Maharaj was by his side. And Kadamkanana Maharaj had cancer when he was departing, very painful. So Jayadvaita Maharaj told him that you have chanted all your life. It is okay if you don't chant. You have chanted all your life. Pretty similar to how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Haridas Thakur. You have chanted. Now, if you don't chant, it is okay. So here, Guru is the disciple. You have chanted all your life. Now, even if you don't chant, it is okay. If we get such an instruction, oh, the best instruction, Guru Maharaj. Why did you give this instruction at the start? This is the best instruction. Bus ho gaya Manav. Now you can relax. When Kadamba Kanana Maharaj heard this, he told Srila Jayadvaita Maharaj, his guru, he said, Gurudev, you ask me to do anything I will do, but don't ask me to stop chanting. Like Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur tells Gauranga Mahaprabhu, I will do anything else. Don't ask me to stop chanting because I cannot. My tongue doesn't stop. Jayadvaita Maharaj was in tears when Kadamba Maharaj left this world. Jayadvaita Maharaj was saying, even on the last day of his departure, Kadamkan Maharaj's chanting counter read 16 rounds. Even on the last day, he had completed his 16. So much commitment to the process, so much discipline to the process. So Prahlad teaches that even before his appearance on the power of holy name. We see in the land of Vrindavan the gopis when they're churning bhajan, they are also chanting. Grihe grihe gopavadu kadamba sarve viditva samavaya yoge punyani namani padhanti nityam. Everyone. Govinda Dagod Kadamana Vedi. And it is. Govinda Damodar Manavedi. Govinda Damodar Manavedi. The gopis, when they would churn butter, they are churning butter, but they are chanting Govinda. My Guru Maharaj was saying that the churning of the butter refers to churning of the scriptures. When you churn the scripture, what is the essence of churning of the scripture? It is the holy name of Krishna. So the gopis are teaching that when you churn butter or when you churn scriptures, शास्त्रों का सार क्या है? भगवान का नाम. भगवान का नाम से बढ़कर और कुछ नहीं. So the gopis in Vrindavan, as they're churning, their mouth is uttering. The second lesson that Prahlad teaches is time is precious. Bhakti should be started at a young age. One should not wait for the fact end of life when we start bhakti. I remember when I was with T-Mobile 7, 8 years ago. On the first or second day, there was a team lunch, and it was in Bellevue. So I said, okay. And that was my first job. So I didn't know how to say no to a team lunch. And when you're in the first job and you have so many people above you, you have to just accept whatever comes your way. So I said, okay. So we went to some restaurant in Bellevue and they all ordered. And I was just sitting. So that team lead who was there, he said, aren't you going to eat anything? I said, no. He said, you came for a team lunch. Because it was very difficult for him to accept that you have come for a team lunch and you're not eating anything. So I said, no, I'm okay. So he said, no, no, just take something. So I said, today's Ekadashi. He said, what? I said, Ekadashi. The reaction that he gave, my goodness, I had identity crisis on what I'm practicing. He was a Hyderabad Telugu guy. So he said, Ekadashi in this age? I said, so he said, no, no, you can take some juice. I said, I'm okay, I'm fine. And I still remember. Then he said, ये तो ऐश करने का जमाना है. ये तो मजा करने का. कहा इस उम्र में 24 साल का 23 साल में कितना भक्ति कर रहे हो. ये तो मजा कर ऐश करने का जमाना. I said, thank you very much. I didn't say anything because it was my first job. Now I cannot give him Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. I cannot give it. I said, okay, thank you. But Krishna was kind somehow. Things eventually worked out. But that's the concept. That's the traditional mindset we have in bhakti. Oh, it's for budapa. बचपन में कौन भक्ति करता है. बचपन में ही भक्ति करना है. बुढ़ापे में जब when we can't see, when we can't hear, when we can't talk, when we can't walk, is that the time we are going to start bhakti about that personality who is difficult to obtain even with sane senses? When senses are picture perfect, that time itself it is difficult to get Krishna. Are we going to start bhakti at a time when the senses are weak? Are we going to start the process for which the human life is given? मनुष्य जीवन दिया इसलिए कि हम भगवान की प्राप्ति करें. And we end up doing everything and put God realization at the end. That's not why human life is given. Human life is given so that yes, we do other things, but we also prioritize God. Prahlad Maharaj was like that right from his childhood. Prahlad, when he went to school, one day, you see in school there is recess break. And most often in recess, children, they're eating the dabba, they're eating the tiffin, chit-chatting, laughing, playing here and there, etc. Prahlad was different. One time when there was recess, his friends asked him, then, why are you so Krishna conscious? Why are you not like us? Because they were demoniac. His friends were demoniac. And Prahlad says, Kaumaramachare prapyo dharman bhagvataniha durlabam manusham deham tadami adruvam ardadam. Canto 7, chapter 6, text 1. Prahlad's instruction to his demoniac friends. Prahlad says, human life is meant for God realization and ideally it should be started at a young age. Why? Because when the person is young, the retention power is very high. The power to grasp is very high. I have seen devotees at 40, 50, 60, it's very difficult to retain. It's very difficult to memorize verses. When children are young, 8, 10, 12, right? For those who don't know, she looks small. She's a pocket rocket. She has so many verses memorized. वो एक पिटारा है, आप खोलिए पिटारा, वो श्लोक ऐसा बाहर निकलते रहेंगे. Why? Because when you're young, the retention power is very high. And also another one. Oh, see, one more. Every time I come to your congregation, there is some new revelation I get. कुछ ना कुछ नया है इस congregation में. He chants Bhagavad Gita chapter 7. Full chapter 7. Amazing. Only
7.
he 7. He chants the chapter 7. We are talking about 7 days of Bhagavatam. What is it? What's it good name?
Shankar.
Shankar. Shankar is worshiping Krishna. That is Vrindavan Dham. Gopeshwar worships Krishna. Krishna. So Prahlad tells his friends, now's the time to start. So Prahlad, in the 7th canto, there are 2 adjectives that Shukadev Goswami uses to address him. The first adjective, please kindly repeat, is Krishna Grihitatma. Krishna Graha Grihitatma, which means Graha. What does Graha mean? Planet, correct, planet. Like we say, Graha Grast, Sare Sati, all those things that are there. Krishna Graha Grihitatma, that personality was haunted by the planet called Krishna, which means he's always thinking about Krishna. So much so that he's haunted in a good way about Krishna. Krishna Graha Grihitatma. The second adjective that is used to describe Prahlad is, please repeat, Govinda Parirambita, which means he is that personality who is always embraced by Govinda, Shri Krishna. Bhagavan Satai Alingan karte hain unhe. And the first is Krishna Graha Grahitatma. He is always haunted by the planet called Krishna. This is the quality of a devotee. Avyarta kalam. Shantir avyarta kalatvam virakti manashunyata asha bandha samutkanta namagani sadavachi. Of the different qualities of highly advanced sadhus, one quality is avyarta kalatvam. They don't waste time. So we see Prahlad gives the second instruction that ideally bhakti should be done now. We should not wait till the end because we do realistically, if you just pause and think, we don't even know whether we are going to live another 10 years. There's no one who can guarantee. And it's not a political speech that I'm saying, it's a ground reality. How many people we lost in COVID? Right? So many of our known people. How many we lost during swine flu 2010 H1N1? Right? So many we lose in accidents. यहाँ से बाहर निकलने के बाद पता नहीं कि हम जीवित रहेंगे क्या नहीं. We don't even know whether we are going to see tomorrow morning's rising sun. We take it for granted that, oh, I have time. It's good to be positive, but it's also good to be cautious of the fact that none of us know how many days we have. Parikshit Maharaj at least knew he has 7 days. We don't even know whether we have 7 days, 6 days, 5 days, 7 hours, 7 minutes, 7 seconds. We don't know. He knew it and he was so serious. We don't even know it. How serious should we be? So the point is, bhakti should not wait for the end. Wherever we are, whatever state we are, we should just start. Krishna will make it perfect. We may have 1,000 disqualifications, but wherever we are, we should just start. Bhagavan taking. Krishna sees the effort. Krishna doesn't see how qualified we are, how perfect we become now. If it was all about perfection, Shabari was giving Jhuta to Ramachandra Bhagavan. Ramachandra accepted it. If it was all about perfection, Kubja was not beautiful. She was hunchback lady. The Supreme Lord accepted her. If it was all about perfection, Hanuman was a monkey. Ramachandra loves him and accepts him. If it was all about perfection, Vidura was a Dasi Putra. Krishna loved him and accepted him. If it was all about perfection, Vidurani was giving peels, banana peels. Krishna accepted. If it was all about perfection, Prahlad and Dhruva were only 5 years old. Krishna came out of a pillar for them. If it was all about perfection, Sudama was a pauper. He didn't have anything. No bank balance. Krishna loved him and embraced him. It is not about This thing will be done. I will have X amount in my bank. I will get this sorted out. Then I will start bhakti. Start bhakti. Krishna will take care of this. Pandavas did wait for everything to get sorted, then surrender to Krishna. Arjuna surrendered to Krishna. And when he surrendered to Krishna, all the planets aligned for the Pandavas. One should not wait till the flag ends. One should not wait till the flag ends. Wherever we are, we should get started. The third lesson that Prahlad Maharaj gives is the mood of being absorbed in the thoughts and remembrance of Sri Vrindavan Dham. Krishna tells Uddhav, Hey Uddhav, Mohe Braj Visarat Nahi. Hey Uddhav, I am not able to forget Vrindavan. Gaibo, Gavaibo, Nachibo, Nachaibo. Hey Uddhav, in the land of Vrindavan, I would sing. I would make others sing. I would dance. I would make others dance. When I would dance and when I would sing, then I would get little buttermilk. But Uddhav, here in Dwarka and Mathura, without dancing, without singing, they give me buttermilk. Uddhav, I don't like this. I want to go back to Vrindavan where I am being made to dance. I am being made to run. I am being made to sing. Hey Uddhav, मोहे ब्रज बिसरत न हम चाहकर भी ब्रज को भूल नहीं पा रहे उद्धव हमें ब्रज ले चलिए I want to go back to Vrindavan. Prahlad Maharaj had this mood. When Prahlad's teacher Shanda and Amarga would teach him, Hiranyakashipu one time made Prahlad sit on his lap. Hiranyakashipu had a lot of fatherly affection. He was a demon, but Prahlad was his son. He loved Prahlad very much, like a father. He made Prahlad sit on his lap and said, Prahlad, what did Shanda and Amarga teach you? What did the teachers teach you? What new did you learn? And Hiranyakashipu thought Prahlad will say, Oh, I learned that you are the supreme, you are the divine, you are the best. He was waiting for that because that would fuel his ego. Prahlad Maharaj says, Tatsadumanye suravarya dehinam. He looks at Hiranyakashipu without any fear, without being intimidated by him. Prahlad looks at Hiranyakashipu and says, My dear, best among demons, oh, best among demons, father. He doesn't just say, Oh, father. तत्साधुमन्ये असुर वर्य आप असुरों में श्रेष्ठ है Hey father, the best among demons, you're asking me what did I learn? I'll tell you what I learned. Hitvarpapakam grihamanta kupam vadam gatoya harimashrayeta. My dear father, what I learned is Hitvarpapakam, you should leave everything else outside. And vanam gatoya, you should go to one. Prabhupada in the purport he translates one in Kali Yuga means Vrindavan. Prahlad doesn't say Vrindavan. Prabhupada, out of his Bhakti Vedanta purport, Prabhupada says in Kali, one means Vrindavan. Hitvatapakam Grahvanta Kupam Vanam Gato. My dear father, go to one. Which one? Vrindavan. Okay. And do what in one? Harimashrayeta. Go and worship your enemy Hari. Hiranyakashipu did tapasya to get bulls to kill Hari. And his son is saying, you go to Vrindavan like a mendicant and leave everything and go and worship Hari and fall at his feet and take the dust of Hari's feet on your head. Hiranyakashipu said, nice joke. Very good. And he just patted Prahlad and took Prahlad off his lap and said, Shanta Namarga, what are you teaching him? They said, we don't know where he's learning all this. We didn't teach him. Because we ourselves don't know about Vrindavan. हम उसको क्या सिखाएंगे? Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. This is not Saraswati Thakur. This is an AI generated image. It's not Saraswati Thakur. Saraswati Thakur got the instruction from his Guru Maharaj, Srila Gaur Kishadas Babaji, to never go to Calcutta. So his disciples asked him that, we see you're always in Calcutta. You have the Bagh Bazaar podium in Calcutta. So how do we reconcile? Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur said, when I'm in the Gaudiya Mutt, there is Radha and Krishna. And Radha and Krishna means Vrindavan, which means I'm in Vrindavan. When I'm there in the car, I'm thinking about how to spread Krishna consciousness, which is Krishna or Vrindavan, which means again I'm in Vrindavan. And when I'm writing books, I'm writing books about Krishna of Vrindavan. Now you please tell me, am I in Calcutta or am I in Vrindavan? Disciple said you are in Vrindavan. Maharaj. So he got an instruction to never go to Calcutta. Saraswati Thakur said, I am never in Calcutta. My heart is always in Vrindavan. And in English, we say, we are where our heart is, or we are where our mind is. So one may be sitting in Lynnwood, but if the heart and mind is in Vrindavan, we get the benefit of being in Vrindavan. And Prahlad Maharaj is saying this to his father. The fourth instruction is, of course, the famous Nava Vida Bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Bhagasevanam, Arjanam, Vandanam, Sakhyam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam, Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu, Bhaktische, Navalakshana. These are the 9 ways of obtaining Lord. And Prahlad starts by saying Shravanam. Why? Because he got Nrsingadev through Shravanam. When he was there in the womb, he got to know about the Supreme Lord through hearing. Then comes the second instance. Hiranyakashipu again calls Prahlad. Prahlad, why did you come and sit on my lap? And Prahlad again comes. Small, he's only 5 years old. He doesn't know what enmity and what enviousness is. He comes and sits on the lap. And Hiranyakashipu says, what did you learn today? What did Shanta and Amarka, your teachers, what did they teach you? And Prahlad says, Matirna Krishne Bharatosvato Mitho Vipatti Hagraha Pratana Adantu Kovi Vishatam Tamishram Puna Puna Charita Charmana. My dear father, what you're trying to achieve is what the demons of the past have also done. You're trying to chew the chewed. What others in the past have already accomplished and not succeeded, they have failed. You're trying to do it the same way again and again. You're chewing the chewed. Punha punha charmita charvanana. Other demons in the past have tried to kill Vishnu. It's not possible, my dear father. He's Bhagavan. Your own brother Hiranyaksha tried. He lost. Why are you doing the same thing? Renounce and go to Vrindavan and worship Hari. Now, this was too much for Hiranyaksha. Someone like Prahlad was giving advice, was very younger in age. It was too much for Hiranyakashipu. He just takes Prahlad from the lap and throws him to the ground. And that's the time he gives the instruction to kill Prahlad. It's very difficult to take instruction from someone who's younger in age. Very, very difficult. Prabhupada was in Amsterdam, Holland, Netherlands. And there was a temple opening. And in that temple opening, nothing was going according to plan. All topsy-turvy. Prabhupada asked for fruits. They brought fruit salad. Prabhupada was doing yajna. So in yajna, on four sides we have fruits, right? And they didn't know they were hippies during those days, right? They just joined. Prabhupada asked for fruits. They brought cut fruits, they brought fruit salad. Prabhupada said, what will I do with fruit salad? It was like for yajna. Because in yajna, we bring proper food. They were all young in their teens, early 20s. Nothing was going according to plan. Prabhupada looked visibly upset, visibly agitated. At a distance, when hippie was standing, long hair, and he was told, whenever you're agitated, you should chant Hare Krishna. He saw Prabhupada agitated. He came to Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, don't take tension, chant Hare Krishna. He who taught the world to chant Hare Krishna, one hippie who was not even initiated, came and gave instruction to Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, don't take tension, chant Hare Krishna. Prabhupada said, yes, he's right. Prabhupada picked up his beads, went to the corner and started chanting Hare Krishna. Hiranyakashipu couldn't take it. Good advice when it came from Prahlad, Hiranyakashipu couldn't take it. Prabhupada could take it even from a hippie because the hippie was speaking Spanish. And finally, the fifth lesson that we see is Prahlad had the ability to see Krishna at all times, at all places. He was genuinely Krishna conscious. When Prahlad was put in a pit of snakes, when Prahlad was put in the pit of snakes, Prahlad said, what is there to be afraid of this pit of snakes? These pit of snakes, they are the bed of my father. Vishnu sleeps on Ananta Shesh, snake. Today morning, we are going to the temple. And you say that in the temple, before going to the temple, I was devotees from the sidewalk, sometimes we enter the temple. And there was a snake that was there. Apparently, it happened to be a dead snake. Prahlad, when he was put in a pit of snakes, Prahlad says, what is there to be afraid of snakes? These snakes are the bed of my father. Who is his father? Vishnu. Vishnu sleeps on a bed of snakes. Prahlad says, what is there to be afraid? When he was put in fire, Prahlad says, what is there to be afraid of fire? This fire is the mouth of my father. Because when we do yajna, we put ahuti in yajna kud. And that is considered the mouth of Hari. It is considered the mouth of Vishnu. Prahlad says, what is there to be afraid of fire? This is the mouth of my father. When we are cooking, then sometimes thoda chatka lag jata hai. We look for cold water. We don't say, mouth of Hari. Oh. We don't do that, right? We see fire day in and day out. Thoda chatka lagta hai, we look for cold water, ice, haldi. We don't say, oh, Hari ka mukh dekh liya. That Prahlad was there sitting on the lap of Holika. Holika died. Prahlad died. He says, what is there to be afraid? This is the mouth of my father. And finally, now is the height. When Prahlad was given poison, Prahlad says, what is there to be afraid of poison? This poison is my uncle. Hiranyakashipu says, how did he become your uncle? Prahlad says, in the Samudra Manthan, when the Samudra Manthan happened, from the Samudra Manthan, Lakshmi ji appeared. But from that same Samudra Manthan, Vish, poison also appeared. Which means the origin for Lakshmi and poison is the same. Who is Lakshmi to Prahlad? Mother. So, Prahlad's mother is Lakshmi. But Lakshmi and poison are brother sister. So for Prahlad, poison becomes the brother of his mother, which means uncle. Hiranyakashipu says, what Krishna consciousness is this? इतना भक्ति तो हम कभी देखे ही नहीं है. Looking at poison, he was saying, this poison is my uncle. It is the height of Krishna consciousness. This is the reason he could see Krishna even in a wall. ऐसा नहीं था कि केवल he could see Krishna only here. He could see Krishna everywhere, and because he could see Krishna everywhere, when he was asked, is Krishna here? He said, Krishna is here and there, here also. That was the ultimate. But before that, he was able to see Krishna everywhere. That's why Prabhupada gives us this Krishna conscious moment to be constantly conscious of Krishna, like Prahlad. So in this way, we see we have the 5 lessons. What was the first one? Holy name. Holy name. Second? No time wasting. Bhakti should be started at an old age. Young age. Third? To be in the thoughts and remembrance of Sri Vrindavan Dham. Fourth? 9 forms of devotion. Navamida Bhakti. 9 forms. And fifth, finally, seeing Krishna everywhere. Not just in the altar, but everywhere. So finally, we see that in this age of Kali, the primary means of inner purification and awakening of auspicious desire is the continuous humble chanting of the holy name. As dharma rises through pure chanting, the Lord is compelled to take his seat within the lotus of our heart. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Nrsimhadev Bhagavan ki Jai. Gaura Premanande Hari.